Thank you very much, Program Director, Chairperson and members of the IEC, leaders of political parties, fellow South Africans. On the 29th of May 2024, we'll exercise the democratic right enshrined in our Constitution that every citizen has the right to free, fair and regular elections for any legislative body established in terms of the Constitution. As we'll be doing so, we'll recall the noble words of the Freedom Charter that no government can justly claim authority unless it is based on the will of all the people. Over the past 30 years of freedom and democracy, we have voted in 6 national and provincial elections, as well as 7 local government elections. All these elections, without exception, have been accepted as free and fair expression of the will of the South African people. We, the African National Congress, are committed to honoring and abiding by the Electoral Code. We call on all South Africans, including all ANC members, leaders and supporters, to abide by the code and to demonstrate maximum tolerance and respect for all parties and candidates contesting the 2024 national and provincial elections. We will, as the ANC, take disciplinary action against any of our members who contravenes the code. Our country has come a long way. We have made incredible strides and achieved much. However, even after 30 years of freedom and democracy, our journey towards the South Africa that our people truly desire is far from over. We still have more hills to climb. We will do better, we'll do more, we'll do faster together. We know that there are forces that seek to use this election to undo the progress of democracy, to undermine the institutions that have championed democratic participation of every voter in South Africa. And we want to reassure everybody that together with all other peace-loving South Africans, we believe in the capacity of the Independent Electoral Commission and the people of South Africa. Thank you, Nyabo.
Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege to be here today to reaffirm the Democratic Alliance's commitment to our country's constitutional democracy. We have a proud record in fighting to preserve, protect, and uphold our constitutions in the face of assaults over the years. But the 2024 general election presents the greatest opportunity and challenge that our democratic dispensation has ever faced. This is because, for the first time in 30 years, one-party rule is set to come to an end. This reality makes the 2024 general election fundamentally different from any elections that have come before. South Africa's democracy is now in the throes of a fundamental transition into a new era of truly competitive elections. We are excited and energized by the maturing of our democracy, and we're working flat out to ensure that we use this opportunity to bring positive change to the people. But we are also keenly aware of the risks. We've already observed how the impending loss of power by once dominant one-party systems has opened up the space for radicalism, disinformation, and violent threats. And I wish to emphasize to the IEC today that the competitive new political reality that confronts us places enormous responsibility on the shoulders of this Chapter 9 institution. This moment in history calls upon the IEC to serve as the midwife for South Africa's transition to a truly mature and competitive democracy. We therefore call upon the IEC to take firm and decisive action against all who threaten or act to undermine our integrity and the outcome of this watershed election. We also reiterate our call for far more international observers to be accredited to ensure a truly free and fair election. The more eyes we have on this historic election, the better. For our part, let me assure you of the DA's commitment to safeguarding the integrity of our electoral process. Our commitment is to protect South Africa from those who would exploit the end of one-party rule to foster anarchy. We hereby commit to the pledge. Thank you.
We send our revolutionary greetings from Winnie Madikizela Mandela House We greet the leadership of the IEC, judges, diplomats, leaders of political parties, and fellow South Africans. The EFF commits itself to uphold the Electoral Code of Conduct. We will ensure maximum discipline from our ranks and take swift action against any of our fighters who undermines the Code of Conduct. We join in the call for great political tolerance throughout the campaign. The democratic right to vote must be protected by any revolutionary means possible. Each South African must feel free to vote, and the IEC must guarantee that this happens in secret. We reiterate our call for the IEC to avoid usage of SATU members as voting station presiding officers. We reiterate our call for IEC to not use the trade union personnel who have put their weight behind a political party contesting the elections. We further call on the IEC to use ballot boxes that are as transparent as the bowl on the table that was used for the draw for the order of the ballot papers today. Above all, and because 2024 is our 1994, we call on all parties to be ready to accept a free and fair electoral outcome. We wish all contests well and call on all South Africans, the landless, the unemployed, workers, professionals, and neglected masses of our people to come out in numbers on the 29th of May and vote for economic freedom in our lifetime. I thank you.
Program Director, the protocol is observed, and I greet all fellow South Africans. On behalf of the IFP, I commit to uphold the spirit, principles, and provisions of the Electoral Code of Conduct in 2024. For 30 years, the IFP has championed free and fair elections as a foundation of democracy. We enter the 2024 elections in the same spirit of service to this great nation. We know that free and fair elections are only possible when every participant plays by the rules. We therefore call on all South Africans to become activists in this campaign, holding representatives accountable for campaigning peacefully, honestly, and fairly. Your vote is your most powerful tool to shape the future. Make sure that your vote is respected by rejecting manipulation, intimidation, and inflammatory rhetoric. Let us bring back integrity into governance. On the 29th of May, the IFP urges the 27.7 million voters to flood the polling stations. Your strength is needed for the work that lies ahead. The IFP invites you to partner with us as we rebuild South Africa. The IFP respects the role of the Electoral Commission. We support the work it is doing as it is mandated to do so to secure and protect genuine democracy. The IFP will honor this pledge. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Sanibonani baholi ngibingelele izinkulu ngibingelele bokubuholi ubukhona no judge mina uJabulani Khumalo omele Umkhonto Wesizwe. I stand here to represent and on behalf of Umkhonto Wesizwe, our President Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma, a visionary, patriotic, and selfless leader of all peace-loving South Africans, traditional leaders, traditional healers, religious leaders, patriotic citizens, and the native ancestors of our land. Umkhonto Wesizwe Party is indeed the spear of the nation. We pledge to uphold the ethics and codes of conduct as per the regulation of the IEC. We also urge political tolerance as we spearhead change in the implementation of the people's mandate. We will deal decisively with any of our members that makes comments or utterances that incite violence, stoke political themselves. The people shall govern by way of a two-third majority. We believe Umkhonto Wesizwe will get the two-third majority. The government of Umkhonto Wesizwe will done away with the Roman Dutch law constitution that continues to benefit a few elite capitalists, whilst the poorest of the poor, the marginalized people of South Africa, are still living under poverty because of that Dutch Roman law. We are not going to condone it, but we are going to do it away with it. And we believe that the women and youth are the rightful owners of this country's future, and therefore should be taken center stage in the transformation of our society and economy. We will give the land back to the rightful owners, the kings, the princesses. We want to uphold, and we're saying we will work with the IEC and make sure that peace and stability in South Africa.
News that matter. News that spark conversation. For more, visit www.newslifesa.co.za.